Hey everybody, an 84-year-old nun breaks into a nuclear storage facility, but she's a peace activist, so it's okay. Oh, by the way, she happened to spatter human blood all over the place, but mum's the word on that.
Average Dude has something to say about...
Everybody, welcome back. You've probably figured out by now that the news stinks. It is incomplete, has missing information. You basically have to look from place to place to place to place in order to put all the pieces together to have an idea as to what the news really is. And it tends to be slanted based upon where you're reading the news. They tend to have a point of view. They go liberal, they go conservative, black and white, Pepsi Coke, you know, that whole bit. But let's go over this story because this one has a huge question mark that nobody is talking about. 84-year-old nun Megan Rice, she's an activist and has been an activist for peace for a long time. Her and Michael Walli and Greg Boertje-Obed, I'm probably butchering that name, but I'm not familiar with it. Anyway, these three are they've been activists for a long time. They broke into a Tennessee uranium plant, a nuclear power plant in Oak Ridge, Tennessee, and they shouldn't have been able to break in. That seems to be what people are focusing on. That a major compound like this, like guarded like Fort Knox, that these old people were able to break in. Or they're focusing on the fact that this poor old 84-year-old lady is being sent to prison. Oh, how dare you do that? Yeah, let's go over this one. Quote, because you're going to love this. The protesters splattered human blood on the wall of a $548 million storage bunker. Hey, what? And nobody is talking about this. Nobody. Human blood. Human blood. Where did this blood come from? Who did this blood come from? You've got to be kidding me, everyone. Oh my God. Quote, the three have garnered worldwide attention. Thousands of letters of support have poured into the court from around the world. Are you kidding me, people? Are you absolutely out of your minds? Yeah, you will see some news stories like the one from the Huffington Post doesn't even mention the human blood at all. Most of them do, but some of them that are pro, let the poor woman go. She's just a poor old woman. Yeah, they don't bother to mention that. Or the Young Turks. I have given the Young Turks crap before for their ridiculous lack of proper news coverage. You're going to love this one because Jank from the Young Turks actually acknowledges the human blood issue. 2 minutes, 18 seconds into the video, link down below. Quote, they had no bad intent. They had no bad intent. Yeah, okay. Quote, splashed human blood on the wall. Yeah, no bad intent there. Wonder where that human blood came from. And Jank, quote, I wouldn't have gone with the blood. Certainly they didn't mean any bad intent. How in the world would you know, Jank? And how do you brush that? How in the world do you have the balls to acknowledge human blood spattered on the wall from these three? Certainly they didn't have any bad intent. Where did the blood come from? Who did the blood come from? You're kidding me. There's no explanation as to where this blood... And I have looked. Go ahead and look. Go Google search and go look through every single article that you can find on these three activists and this 84-year-old nun. It's unbelievable. A lot of them mention the human blood, but none of them mention where the blood comes from or who it comes from. They bothered to find out that it was human blood. Explain that. This is a crime scene with human blood, and the world is ignoring that. It's a trivial matter. They would much rather talk about, oh, let the poor 84-year-old woman go. Or, I can't believe that they were able to break into this compound. That's a huge risk. What about the human blood? Unbelievable. Oh, sorry, I had to take a moment there because this takes my breath away. Quote, the two men received longer sentences based on their past criminal history. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. This woman, I'm tired of hearing about how nice and how moral and how pure and how much of a peaceful activist she is, and she's a nun and she should get away with it. You've got to be kidding me. Megan Rice, this woman has been arrested a motherload of times and she's showing no signs of stopping. Now here's the problem with activists, and to be fair with activists, they start off okay, but as time goes by, they start to get worse. They develop tunnel vision. The cause is everything, and they will do whatever it takes to further the cause, even if it means doing bad things. They will go against their own principles. You know, they'll write it up as collateral damage. And that's what blows me away. You have human blood involved in this story in some way, shape, or form. What did these three do? Where did they get the blood? You've got to be kidding me. That's the problem with activists. These three are escalating. They're escalating. They are getting worse. They are getting more bold. They broke into a major nuclear storage facility. Human blood? Quote, please have no leniency on me, she said. To remain in prison for the rest of my life would be the greatest honor you could give me. Am I the only one that's bothered by that statement, considering everything else that has been reported on this with the human blood? She's been arrested a motherload of times throughout her life because of her activism and human blood, and then that statement. That tells me that she's saying, put me behind bars for the rest of my life or you will regret it. She's escalating. These three are escalating. How bad is it going to be the next time around? What is she going to be willing to do? Oh my goodness. I mean, it would be one thing, like I said, half of these stories are ignoring the blood entirely, and then the others, they mention the human blood element, and then they move right past it and never say anything. Where did that blood come from, and who did it come from? That is very important. I mean, this is a crime scene. A major crime scene with human blood. Because I highly doubt that this is from... They did so much damage here. Where did all that blood come from? I highly doubt that it was their own blood from the three of these people. So who did this blood come from? Did they steal it? Did they steal it from a blood bank or something? I mean, and if it's anything else other than that, I don't even want to know. But this should be a major warning sign for everybody. Question these stories when you read about them, when you hear about them. Don't just simply be swept away with whatever propaganda that the reporting person or people happen to be giving you. Pro 84-year-old nun Megan Rice, or let's throw the book at her. Really think things through.